在过去的20年中，我们经历了2次重大的金融危机，一次是亚洲金融危机，还有一次是大约10年后的全球经济危机。这2次危机的主要区别是什么？我们又能从中学习到什么？10月18日，我在纽约进行的国际学术会议上对这方面的专家进行了专访。In the past 2 decades, we have experienced 2 significant crises: the Asian financial crisis and the global economic crisis. What can we learn from those two, and what are the key differences between the 2 crises? On October 18th, I had an exclusive interview with an expert on this topic at the international conference in New York.
The epicenter was in Asia, East Asia. So the contagion one was very different. You're so close to the crisis of confidence, not really, but more like a financial sector.
In the period 2007-2009, up till now, 2010.
Have consequence of decrease of idiosyncratic risks.
As a matter of fact, in 1997, 1998, while East Asia was generally suffering from big drops in GDP and things were not looking very good for a while, the rest of the global economy actually, 2 years after the crisis, was already growing at a very good pace, almost 3% or so. Now, as against that, this time the global economy, even after 2 years, is shrinking at 2%. So it's been growing at minus 2% or so. And the future growth rate is also subdued.
Can start doing it by separating from that.
So did the trade continue to grow after the global trade drop?
Actually, I hope so. That's right.
Yeah, it's growing.
Yeah.
We turned out that they have I'm going to be presenting a paper in the in East Asia, the criticism was that there wasn't enough deregulation, and whatever was being introduced was not introduced in a proper setting and maybe rushed through. Whereas the deregulation that was happening in US in particular, all the way starting from late 1970s and early 1980s, it turned out that was too fast, too much, without proper regulation. Trade continued to grow after the global trade drop?
Actually, I hope so. That's right.
Yeah, it's growing.
Yeah.
The Australian dollar is very strong.
Strong.
However, the rap against East Asian countries at that time was, hey, good thing you tried to do for
Transition country which belonged to South.
China has shown that it is sustainable, able to grow in a sustained fashion. So many people had thought 8 or 9 or 10% is too much and it's not going to be sustainable. China has proven otherwise. That's one thing. And secondly, China has the most interesting and most significant development is that China's international reserves have grown from, as I said, 142 billion in 1997 to 2.4 trillion in 2009. And as a matter of fact, during the global financial crisis, there hasn't been much change, very little change in that. So that is many-fold increase. And the other thing is that unlike the 1997-98 crisis, although China did suffer some drop in its GDP growth, but it had a very, very successful $500 billion stimulus, which...
Okay. Well, do you want to do the whole thing today?
No, just for 2 days.
Yeah, for today. Yeah.
Tomorrow I can do that.
And then 2 minutes later, you'll be able to kind of...
To discuss.
We'll discuss at the end all the papers.